We are in a war. We have watched the Biden administration destroying the country, depleting the strategic oil reserves, weakening us, pulling out of Afghanistan, abandoning $85 billion in our military equipment, making us weaker and weaker. At the same time, after the election, what does he do? He has American missiles from Ukraine going to Russia. It's like he's poking the bear, egging on the war. The war is on. It's not going to stop. And what you got to know is Trump got elected. And you saw the bullet nick him. And he said, fight, fight, fight. The fight's not over. He's a fighter. He got up from that shot. And he went out and he fought hard. He got elected. And now he's in there. He wants to make America great. So what our enemies know is this is their best opportunity. They're coming. They're going to take advantage of our weakness because we're going to start getting stronger. And you don't want to let your enemy get stronger. And they're planning on coming. Because this is the time the prophecies talk about, where in Matthew 24 it says, when you see nations rise against nations, it's Russia against Ukraine. No, it's Ukraine again, including American $50 billion of Biden administration, Congress sending money into Ukraine, and the rest of NATO wanting Ukraine to join NATO. You got the NATO side, then you got China joining with Russia and Iran. Its nations are rising. But what the four horsemen are saying is coming is called the day of the Lord. The Lamb releases the seals. The horses come out with the Lamb breaks the seal. They have power to kill on a quarter of the earth. NATO countries, 32 members, they are all located on the top half of the Atlantic Ocean, both sides. That's 1/4 of the earth where the NATO countries are. And the four horses are coming. And because they're going to do it in 2025, look up Deagle 2025 forecast. Population of this country goes from 326 million in 2017 to 2025 down to 100 million. That's a 2/3 reduction in our population. That's also prophesied in Ezekiel 5. It says 1/3 of the people perish in cities of famine and plague. Another 1/3 of the people perish in the country by the sword. But 1/3 who survive, they flee to the mountains. This is the time. It's 2025. The prophecies in the Bible talk about this kind of a huge population reduction. And believe it or not, Deagle.com website, CIA inventory, 207 countries worldwide, including their populations, their gross national product, their per capita income, and their inventory of military equipment, everything on 207. It's a huge inventory of the whole planet because it's the globalist Rockefeller's website. And they forecasted what's coming in 2025. And that fits the Matthew 24 prophecy. Jesus said, when you see the nations rise against nations, it's the beginning of the birth pains. We've been watching the birth pains. They're coming. Like the Lahaina fires, the hurricane in North Carolina, Helene, even the Paradise, California fires, even the Las Vegas shooting, or clear back to Rita, Katrina. This country's been suffering massive amounts of what are called birth pains. They don't stop. They're going to keep coming. And then the water breaks when the baby starts going through the birth canal. But it's a good thing. This is God's plan to bring about the birthing of a new age of 1,000 years of peace on earth, because this is a time the scriptures say calls for the patient endurance of the saints. And it says the people who know their God will firmly resist. We are the resistance. We will emerge, as the prophecies say. At the end, 1/3 of mankind is killed. Jesus returns with an army from heaven in Revelation 19:11. We are the champions of the world. The scriptures say, that's just like the scriptures say. In Daniel 7, the fourth beast is waging war against the saints and defeating them until the Ancient of Days arrives. That's the heavens part. In the sky appears riding on a white horse, Revelation 19:11. And he's coming with armies of heaven following him, because Nothing on this earth can stop an army of 200 million, which is China and their determination to establish complete and total global domination by the Chinese. Jesus is not going to let that happen. We are going to emerge from this great and final conflict like the song by Queen says, "We are the champions of the world. Keep on fighting. No time for losers." This is a challenge for the future of the whole human race, and we ain't gonna lose.